Okay. So thank you guys for sharing. That was awesome because I think we can tailor a lot of this presentation that I'm about to talk about to what we're going to say. But I basically came up with this presentation, not really a presentation, but just the ability to be able to walk you guys through just taking everything that you learned and putting like a little bow on it, right? So that it kind of sinks in as to what next. And the goal is for you guys to end this call and hang up tonight knowing exactly what you should do over the next 30 days. Your personally sponsored coach, if they're not on this call, then get with them. Even if they are on the call, like you better believe I'm going to be like, being like, Taylor, when can we chat? I'm going to let her take this information, let it sink in, but then we want to get on the phone. You and your personally sponsored coach, you will have more success the more personal interaction you have with your personal sponsored coach. It does not mean your PS coach is your boss, but your PS's job is to be your mentor. That is their job, is to be your mentor. And the only difference between you and your personally sponsored coach is that your personally sponsored coach has been doing this longer. That's it. There are many, many, many personal sponsored coaches. It's a partnership. You are getting their volume. They are getting your volume. So you're like this. Your success is based on them. Their success is based on you, which is what makes the culture of our team so awesome, is because of that binary piece right there. So I can't keep it in that big mode of being able to see it in big screen, or my cursor doesn't work. Let's see. Yes, and I'm going to talk about this now, and we're going to bring it up again. But for those of you, Taylor and Meg, not so much Portia, the name Tiffany Nora Hendricks. So if you guys know how to find the chat in this actual call right now, Heidi just chatted. There's a coach. Her name's Tiffany Nora Hendricks. She is still in college and she is crushing it as a coach. So she might be somebody that you guys want to follow on social media. HENDRICKS, and Tiffany is TIFFANY, middle name Nora. It's always great to find somebody in social media that you can sort of follow and watch. But then once you have a gist of it, stop following them, because you want to be able to be your own person. And I found that as a brand new coach, I started following so many coaches that I started to craft my posts sort of like theirs, because that's all I was doing was looking at their stuff. And now I don't look at stuff anymore. I get my inspiration from my personal development. That's where my inspiration on my posts comes from most of the time. So check her out. That's a little sidebar conversation. Okay, thank you for that, Heidi. I appreciate it. All right, so let's get to it. And we will do FAQs at the end. All right, so you're a coach now. Here's the deal. One of the things that I love about the fact that coaches come on board, because when I talk about coaches, I'm talking about you guys who are on this phone call now, who actually want to do something with the business. But there's also the coaches that just want to be coaches because they just don't want to pay retail for Shakeology. So you have started your business with a challenge pack. You've probably purchased the on-demand with Shakeology. Maybe you purchased the 3-day refresh. I seriously doubt that you've bought a DVD, but Taylor came on like, I don't know, almost last summer. And she probably bought, Taylor, what did you buy? Like the 21-day fix extreme? What did you buy? She's on mute. Sorry, what did you buy?
Sorry, Insanity Max 30 and 21-day fix extreme.
That's right. So we're not doing DVDs anymore. Yes, you can still get a DVD, but someone's going to pay $160 for a DVD in Shakeology. And you can pay $199 for the on-demand with Shakeology, which is only, it's on sale for $160 right now, which is an amazing deal. So you started your business with a challenge pack, so use it. Use your programs. If you're not on a program right now, definitely get on one, and we will talk about that in terms of being a product of the product for sure. Your monthly membership as a coach is $15.95. So that is a separate line item on your credit card statement. You will see now, if you haven't already, that your Shakeology charge is $98 and it's from Shakeology, and the $15 charge is from Beachbody. So that's very important also when you're bringing on a new coach who might just want to do it for the discount. I always let them know, just so you know, you're going to see 2 line items on your credit card statement, one for $98 and one for $15. The $15 is your business services fee. It's for your discount. That's going to be one line item. Your Shakeology is $98, which is the 25% off of your retail Shakeology. So even at $115, you're still saving than paying retail, which comes out to be $140 after shipping and tax. That's sort of what I say. But I love to tell people that it's 2 line items, because if you don't, they freak out after they get their first shipment and they're like, whoa, what's this $15? So just let them know that it's 2 different line items so they can be expecting that. Make sure as a coach that you are on Shakeology Home Direct, right? You've got to be on Shakeology Home Direct in order to be an active coach. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And then this is a little bit outdated because this PowerPoint was made when we had club membership, but you're not going to be canceling your Beachbody On Demand because you have a year membership. We're not doing the club memberships anymore. So excuse that, that number 4. Okay, so how to get and stay active as a coach. So that is your first and forever goal, is to make sure that you are active. So what does that mean? So this is a clip of your back office, okay? So your coach ID obviously is right there in the top left-hand corner. You will learn to memorize that number, and then your current rank is underneath it, and then your qualification rank. So for instance, if I'm 6-star qualifying right now, it will say 6-star qualifying. It will be 6-star qualifying until I hold that rank for 6 weeks. Once you become a diamond coach and you're qualifying for star diamond, you have to hold that rank for 6 weeks before you get your rank advancement. So your status should always show active. How do you keep an active status? Well, you have to have 50 plus PV in the course of a 5-week period. So PV means personal volume. That is basically the value of products and services sold by you as a coach. So here's a couple questions that we get. How do you stay active? Or a lot of times we'll be bringing our spouses on to be one of the coaches on our team as we're getting started, because there's a huge advantage in doing that. Your boyfriend, your mom, your sister, your husband, your girlfriend, whatever, you put somebody in your downline, because eventually those act as 2 business units that can create team cycle bonus, which is income. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But a lot of people will ask, okay, so do I need Shakeology in order to be active? Well, the answer is yes and no. If you are not on Shakeology HD, but you are selling challenge packs, the volume from those challenge packs will roll up to you and will keep you active. But since we're all going to be aiming for Success Club, in order for you to qualify for Success Club leads, which is how Portia came about, right, with Juliet, you have to be on HD. So that's why the answer is yes and no. So people who don't really care about whether they're getting free leads or not, people who don't want to grow a business are not aiming for Success Club. So then no, they don't need to be on Shakeology HD to be active if they're selling retail challenge packs. But for you all on the phone, yes, you need to be on Shakeology HD. 1, because you need to show your followers that you're using Shakeology and that you are a product of the product. And 2, that's worth 90 volume points, and it keeps you way above active status. Any questions on that? No? Okay, great. We'll move on. Okay, so you have some online stores. I'm going to be totally transparent and tell you that I do not use any of them, but I think it's important that you know that you have them. So you can go to beachbodycoach.com, and then there's your screen name. Shakeology.com, and then there's your screen name. So you can send people those links and they can go shopping if they want. That's not the way I like to operate. I like to send people links after I have phone conversations with them. But you are going to need to get your Beachbody website sort of updated in order to be qualified for leads, which we'll talk about. So that's the only reason I really ever went in there in the first place, was to make sure I qualified for leads. You now, as a coach, receive 25% discount on anything that you purchase. So your Shakeology obviously is at a discount. If you decide to do the 3-day refresh, if you want to get any Shakeology boosts, I'm doing the Ultimate Reset right now, so I saved $60 on that because I'm a coach and my discount applied. And then you receive a 25% commission on any retail sales. So if you're selling a $200 challenge pack, the $199 challenge pack, which is typically the price, you will make 25% on that. Okay, so you'll make a $50 commission on that first retail. If you have a retail customer who then upgrades to become a coach, then that retail customer is a coach, and now you'll receive team cycle bonus on that person. You're not eligible anymore for commission because you're getting paid team cycle bonus. So we'll talk about that in a minute as well. Okay. Before we ever get started on any of this, and we drilled a lot into this in the training, but it always starts with why you became a coach. And it's so true that your why is going to continue to change. So the reason that you're a coach today and the reason that you want to be a coach now is going to be different in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months if you're still coaching. I'm almost at my 3rd year of coaching, and my why has changed 3 times. Okay? But it is important that you have an initial one and you're connected to it and it's posted somewhere you can see it, because if anyone tells you that this is going to be easy, they are wrong. This is super, super, super hard. It's not hard as in rocket science, but you have to be able to understand that this is going to take you 2 to 3 years to get your business off the ground where it becomes a 6-figure income for you, or something that you can rely on full time. It takes blood, sweat, and tears, and it takes more discipline than anything you've probably ever done before. And we're going to talk about that too. But it all starts with why you became a coach. So what is your reason? Is it because you got results and you want to pay it forward? I mean, Meg talked a little bit about that. I want everyone to feel the way I feel. I'm not going to read through all these, but was there a need in your life? Did you need another stream of income? Are you looking for more freedom? Are you newly married and you know that in a couple of years you want to be home with babies and you want that option? Are you just graduating and you have debt to pay off? Are you a fitness professional and you want to be able to take this to the gym and be able to network with people at the gym? So it's super, super important that you think through all that. And you can see this is a picture of our team. We had a get together in Connecticut in January. And this was all of us. We had professional photos taken so that everyone could use professional photos for their social media. So this was at the end of the day. And every single one of those women that you see in that picture all started off as challengers. They all bought a challenge pack. They all started off as a challenger. They saw that there was something cool and special about coaching. And obviously somebody saw something in them and invited them to coaching. So just like we're so glad that Deanna asked Meg to be a coach, you want to make sure that you are continuing to ask people to be coaches because you believe in this opportunity. And the more you coach and the more it blesses you, you're like, oh my goodness, I cannot hold this in any longer. I have to share it with whoever I can. So there's 4 vital behaviors. Y'all should know these by now, right? But it's inviting, but I like to say like attract, connect, and invite. And I love the fact that Megan is in this picture with me because Megan bought my baby swing from me at a garage sale. Okay. And Megan will tell you that when she saw me pick up the baby swing after 4 kids, she's like, your arms were so ripped, which is a total compliment to T25 because I just started it. But she's like, your arms were so ripped. That was her first thought of me. My first thought of her was like, this girl is like a pocket full of sunshine. She like exudes happiness. She had just had a baby. She'd said to me that she didn't have any money. And I was like, okay, like bingo. And she's a teacher. Teachers always make good coaches because they know how to teach what to do. So it took me about 3 months to like build enough of a connection with her to invite her to a challenge group. She turned me down. She said, no, 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 no. And a year later, she said yes, but she refused to buy Shakeology. I mean, she was like the biggest pain in the ass. And so I'm like, okay. So she bought the 21 Day Fix DVD. And I let her in my challenge group anyway, which I don't typically let people in my group unless they buy a challenge pack. Let her in anyway, and then 6 months went by. I kept asking her. I'm sending her packets of Shakeology in the mail. Like, try this packet. I think you're going to love it. And she was stalking me on Facebook. She'll tell you that too. And when I went on a 2-star diamond trip that I got invited to a year and a half ago, she saw that and she was like, I've never once gone on a trip for my job. And she was like, oh my goodness, that's so cool that you get to travel for coaching. And I was like, let's talk about coaching. And all of a sudden she was ready. But it took a year and a half of us doing this whole pull and push back and forth between the 2 of us. And now she's a 1-star diamond coach. So ready to have her second baby. So again, the inviting, sometimes you get the inviting where you ask that person and they're like, thanks for inviting me. Absolutely. Yes. How much is the challenge pack? $199. No problem. I'm in. And then you get those people that go dark on you. And then you get the people that you have to follow up with and ask. And some of those people become your best challengers, and then they become your best coaches. Be proof the product works. So that's another reason you should be drinking Shakeology. It's another reason that you should be picking programs to do and highlighting them. Taylor has done an awesome job highlighting her progress on Max 30. It's amazing what that program has done to her body. If you've not seen her body, like, get ready to like sit down after you look at it. It's like chiseled to a T. It's amazing. Definitely a pre-baby body for sure. But she looks awesome, and Max 30 has done that to her, and that's being a product of the product. So now I'd encourage Taylor, what's the next program going to be? And you want to start like jab hooking on your social media. Hey guys, what should I do? Should I do core de force? A little bit of kickboxing, which is out of my comfort zone, or should I try Body Beast and see if I can get some hefty biceps for summer? You tell me, and ask your Facebook followers, like, have that engagement, or on Snapchat, or whatever it is that you do. Do some Instagram stories. But you want to be proving that the product works, and you want to be showcasing that on your social media. Personal development, definitely. This is one of those things that a lot of people are like, yeah, I don't need to do personal development, or I was inviting today, I didn't get a chance to do personal development. If you are not growing as a leader, you will not be able to grow as a person that can motivate and inspire challengers or coaches. Your challenge groups will get old and stale, and you will not attract coaches to you because you're not growing as a leader. And personal development is what is the best inspiration for social media. Again, you want to add value on social media. Talk about what you're reading and the tips that you're learning. Okay. Recognizing, I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but we definitely want to make sure that we're recognizing coaches. We're recognizing challengers. I started this year doing Challenger of the Week. I'm highlighting quotes of my challengers in my challenge groups. Anytime someone has success as a coach, you guys are all about ready to get your certificates of completion. You will probably see those go on your wall from your personally sponsored coach. Again, it's just showcasing to your followers that you've chosen to do this as a business, whether it's a side business, whether it's a side hustle, or whether you're like, I'm in like Flynn, I'm going for it. But you want your challengers to see that you're having progression with the business. Okay, so goals for your first month. So I love this picture. This one on the bottom left is Summit last year. These four, Dina and Mandy and Heidi and Kira, I think this is when you guys had all won a workout with, I forget who it was, Shanti maybe. Yes. And yeah, Shanti. And it's just, these girls had never met each other until this particular summit. I mean, obviously Dina and Mandy are sisters, but Kira flew all the way in from California. She'd never met one person. And of course, as you're on the airplane, you're sort of like, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? But you can see very quickly, since you are attracting the same type of person, you just gel. The whole team just gels, and all of a sudden you've just got this really cool culture, which then you can talk about on social media. So what are your goals for your first month to get you to the point where your followers understand that you've got this business that you want to run? Commit to completing a program. So I'm going to take it off me for a second, and everybody tell me what program you're either doing right now, or what your next one is going to be, or what two you're toying through. So take your phone off mute, and we'll start with Deanna.
Okay, so I did many rounds of 21 Day Fix.
Yeah.
And did many rounds of 21 Day Fix Extreme, and I am in my second week of Max 30 right now, and it's kicking my butt.
Yay! I love it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's my coach.
Good for you. Okay, Meg, what about you?
This is my second round of 21 Day Fix.
Okay.
And at the end of next week, if I'm feeling awesome like I am right now, I'm going to do 21 Day Fix Extreme.
Awesome. Good. Okay. Taylor?
I am in my third week of Insanity Max 30. It's my third time doing it. And I'm really excited for Shanti Week.
Awesome. Yes. Shanti Week is June 14th. Amazing. Or June 12th. Gosh, I
I
should
might have to take a break and do that one.
You definitely will. Well, I think you're going to get the same type of workout, so you're going to be okay. All right. What are you doing after that in 5 weeks? Would you know what you're doing yet?
I kind of want to start lifting a little bit more weight, so I was thinking about either Body Beast or Hammer and Chisel. I haven't decided which one.
Cool. Okay. Portia.
I have done 21 Day Fix a number of times actually, and I right now though am in my second month of PIO, and I love it. I'm obsessed. I was a gymnast, and I love yoga, so this is just awesome for me. I'm really enjoying it.
Amazing. Good. Love it. Okay. Irene, just going to pick on you.
I'm here. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm doing with my challenges right now 21 Day Fix because I had this hip flexor problem and I'm like coming back slowly.
Yep.
So you will see me tomorrow, like I'm jumping already, so I'm getting back. But I'm going to do the Shanti with you on 12.
Yeah, you were doing that challenge group together. Awesome. Okay. So I love that you guys have a program that you're doing. That's amazing. I think I'm going to do P90X3. No. Sorry. I'm doing Shift Shop, right? Because we're doing Shanti Week. And then we have a month before Shift Shop is released. So Shift Shop is the next big program that's going to get released. That comes out July 16th. So look at your calendars and sort of figure out what you're going to do. So I need a 30-day program, so I'll probably do Quarter Force. I'm going to do Quarter Force and then Shift Shop, and then I'm definitely going to do a P90X series the second half of the year because I haven't done one in a while, and I want to talk about Tony Horton, and I want to kind of bring some light back into P90X. Okay. So your goals for your first month: commit to completing a program, which you guys have all done. You definitely want to be talking up Shanti Week, which is on the 12th of June. I talked in the Poach page. If you did not see the video that I posted today, one thing that might be fun is for you guys to do what I'm doing with that challenge group, which starts June 9th, and we're all doing the 3-day refresh together. So I'm calling it Shanti Kickoff Week. And maybe since you're brand new coaches, you've never done the 3-day refresh before. This is a great opportunity to be like, hey followers, I've never done this before. Does anybody want to do it with me? Because I don't want to be alone. And you actually do the 3-day refresh with your challengers that weekend, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And then 12th is Shanti Week, and your challenge group kicks off on Friday, but you actually start your workouts on the 12th, and you do, 21 days. Shanti Week is for 7 days, and they're being super unclear about what happens for week 2 and week 3. They're like, yeah, there's going to be more, but we don't know what that is yet. So I'm just telling my challengers, look, it's going to be another 2 weeks of Shanti inspired stuff through Beachbody On Demand. So hang tight, and we'll all be doing it together. So it's the first challenge group that I'm doing with my challengers where we're all doing the same thing, right? Because I'm sure like your challenge groups, everyone picks a program and they all do a program and they're checking in, but we're all going to do the same program, which I think is going to be cool. But watch my video. I don't want to waste time re-talking about it, but you can definitely increase your volume and your commission if you're talking about the 3-day refresh and kicking off with that and why that's important. The 3-day refresh, it helps people break plateaus. It gets people excited because they will definitely lose between like 2 and 5 pounds. And when that happens in your first 3 days, you definitely give it all you got for a challenge group, which would give them better results at the end of the 21 days. So not to be a total financial thing, but it does help your volume, but then it might be the right fit for some of your people. So that's the biggest thing, who it can help. Okay, so read one personal development book. If you need help picking a book, talk to your coach. You want to pick books that are going to help you. If you're one of those people that has a hard time with consistency, you want a book on like motivation. Read like I'm reading the Motivation Manifesto right now. If you are somebody that needs help with planning, read the 12-week year. If you're somebody that needs help with organization or treating your business like a business, read the Entrepreneurial Roller Coaster.
Tracy, I'm like every single one of those people.
Yes, exactly.
I'm all of them. Yes.
Yes.
Me.
If you don't know why you're a coach, read Start With Why by Simon Sinek. So there's lots of ideas. Talk to your coach. Post in the coach page. Hey guys, I'm struggling with this. What books do you have? So read a personal development book. I listen to all mine with my brand new earbuds. I don't know what I would do without these. I throw them in any time I'm doing something mindless and I'm listening to personal development for sure. And if it's something I need to see with my own eyes or write down, I'll just stop it and I'll go write it down and then start replaying, because there's good little tidbits that help me put posts together. All right, become an Emerald coach. People get so jammed up about I'm going to be Emerald in 3 months. No, you just need 2 people. You need 2 people that you can ask to be committed to the program for 3 months. Anyone who has 10 pounds or more to lose, I always ask those people, give me 3 months. I need you to drink Shakeology for 90 days, and I need you to be in my challenge group 3 months in a row so that I can really coach you to get these 10 pounds off in a way that's healthy and in a way that you can learn how to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So because they're committing to you, you bring them straight on as a coach. There's no reason to do the whole dance on, come on as a customer, and then we're going to upgrade you down the road. You don't need to do that if you already know that they're giving you a 3-month commitment. Okay? Or if you know somebody that wants the coaching opportunity, obviously you can bring them right on as a coach. People that aren't sure, people that I don't know that well, people that don't want to have a long conversation with me before a challenge group, I will bring them on as a challenger. People who won't give me that 3-month commitment, I bring them on as a retail customer challenger, get them to love Shakeology, work really hard with them in the first 3 weeks, and then I upgrade them because they're like, oh my goodness, I feel amazing. I want to keep doing your groups. Okay, then you don't want to pay retail for Shakeology, so let's make you a coach. You can coach if you want to, but you don't have to coach. Many coaches just are coaches because they don't want to pay retail for Shakeology. Oh, I don't have to coach? No, but you could if you wanted to. I always say that because you're planting a seed every time. I'm not pushing them. No, but you could if you wanted to. No, I'd never be a good coach. I think you'd be a great coach, but we don't have to talk about that right now. But you always want to be planting seeds. And Earn Success Club, this should say 6. We used to only get 1 Success Club point for Shakeology HD, and now you get 2. So there's no such thing as Success Club 5. It's always 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 3 people, basically. You want to help 3 people. That's your goal in your first month as a coach. Does that seem doable? Megan's emphatically saying yes. Good. Does that seem doable? Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see here. All right. So why is Success Club so important? Okay. So there's 2 ways that you can bring someone on with a challenge pack, right? Or sorry, 2 ways to hit Success Club 2. Bring them on with the challenge pack, which is the digital all access, or Shakeology HD for 2 points. Now, if they just do Shakeology and then they decide they want to be a coach, what happens? What's sort of a downer about that?
I'm sorry. Say that one more time, Tracy.
If somebody just buys Shakeology HD and then they decide after the first month that they want to upgrade to be a coach, what's the downer about that?
You don't get Success Club points?
You do. You get Success Club points. You get 2 of them. But if somebody just says, I don't want your on-demand, I only want Shakeology, and they don't bundle it, what happens when they're like, I love Shakeology, how do I get the discount? They have to pay the $40. Right? You're only eligible to become a coach for free if you buy a challenge pack. So, okay. So somebody, you're going to get these people. They're all over the place. They're like, yeah, I don't want your on-demand. I do this or I do that or I do this or I do that. I don't do at-home workouts. So what would be a good, as we're talking about handling objections, what's a good way to talk to them about why the bundled option is actually a better value? Anyone want to take a stab at it?
I'll take a stab at it, Tracy.
Great.
So this is what I thought to myself when I first did it. So I could buy Shakeology, by itself. But if I get the bundle pack, I have access to challenge groups now and forevermore. I have my containers already. I've already got demand access for the whole year, and I don't have to stop what I'm already doing. If I want to run or if I want to take spin classes, I can still do that.
Yeah.
But I've got everything, and I get it at a discount of what, $40, $60.
Right. Okay. So that's good. So I like that. But what I'll say to somebody who is like emphatic, I don't want to do at-home workouts, I'm just so transparent with them. I'm like, listen, you can drink Shakeology. 9 out of 10 people that buy Shakeology from me fall in love with it because of all the reasons we've talked about, because I've been talking to them about Shakeology. And then you're going to want to get it at a discount where you're going to save $20 a month. You're not eligible for the discount unless you bundle your Shakeology with either digital streaming or a 3-day refresh. So for $160, you can bundle, or for $140, you can get 1 bag of Shakeology. And then if you decide that you want the upgrade to become a coach, you don't have to pay anything with the $160, but you're going to have to pay another $40 with the 1 bag of Shakeology. So then technically that person pays $180 when they could have just paid $160 for the challenge pack. Now I don't get that detailed with them, but I always say, look, you're eligible for the option. And if you don't like the Shakeology after your first month and it didn't do what we've talked about, we think it's going to do, you can have your money back. Like they have nothing to lose to buy it, and if you do love it, great. Then you're going to save $20 and you're going to get that $20 extra back that you just spent. See? So just be upfront with them and let them know, like, look, if you bundle it, it's better. 3-day refreshes are awesome. When you do one yourself, you'll be able to share with people why that's so important. So that's one reason that it's like the challenge pack is a no-brainer for people. Make sense? Okay. All right. Being an Emerald coach, everybody understands this is what an Emerald coach looks like, right? They've got 1 coach on their left and 1 coach on their right. Okay, so I'm not going to go into vast detail tonight because we are getting short on time, and I definitely want to get you guys off the phone before we hit the hour mark. But people are going to start talking about a strong leg and a weak leg. If you want to know what your strong leg is, ask your personally sponsored coach, what leg am I on of yours? So if you are on your PS coach's right leg, that is going to be your strong leg. If you're on your left, that's going to be your strong. The reason why is this. So can you guys see my cursor? Okay, great. So let's say that this is your personally sponsored coach, and let's say that this is you. You are the right top coach in the organization. After a year time, your personally sponsored coach has, put a coach on the right, a coach on the left, a coach on the right, a coach on the left. They're going to be strategic about what they do, but for every coach they're putting on their right leg after the day that you signed up, you are going to get inherited volume from all those blue circles. Okay, so let's say that Deanna is here, and then this is Juliet, and Juliet adds Portia. And then Juliet adds Megan, and then Juliet adds Tracy, and then Juliet adds Heidi. So Juliet's building her business, and this is why Deanna wants Juliet to keep building her business, is because every time all of those coaches purchase Shakeology, Deanna gets 90 points on her heavy leg. So in 1 month time, if there are 10 coaches that came on after Deanna in Juliet's downline, 10 coaches times 90 is 900 PV. You will get 900 PV on your strong leg that's just inherited. You've just inherited that. So then as you are building your weak leg, that's where your team cycle bonus starts to come in, right? Because you have 100 on one side and 200 on the other side. And every time you can deduct 200 and 100, cha-ching, that's a team cycle. So if there's 900, you could do 900 9 times as long as there's 1,800 on the other leg. Does that make sense? But I really don't want you to walk out of here like totally understanding team cycle bonus. I want you to realize that you are getting inherited volume on your coach, on the leg that you're on. That's why it's your heavy leg. I like telling people to put spouses, parents, children, also on your strong leg. So if this is Portia right here, and Portia's on Juliet's right leg, Juliet's giving Portia all that volume, Portia's going to want her husband on her right leg, because guess what? Now, every time Portia's adding coaches, Portia's husband is going to get team cycle bonus on all of those. Okay? And all the coaches that come on that Juliet is putting on after Portia's husband came on, Portia's husband is now going to start getting volume on all of those. So you really do have this great opportunity for inherited volume. Now, that doesn't mean that every coach gets inherited volume. My coach is a selling coach, but she started selling 2 years after me, a year and like 9 months after me. And I had created so much volume by that point that she didn't need to put any more volume on my leg. So I'm not getting inherited volume. So don't ever expect inherited volume, but if you get it, it's awesome. If you're in a great downline, it's awesome. But as a beginning coach, you want to start your spouse on your strong leg so that your spouse can also reap the benefit of all of your volume. And if you're not married, you got a boyfriend, a sister, a cousin, somebody that you know will do Shakeology and that can reap the benefits of that amazing placement in your downline. Okay? So that is why we add our spouses, and we talk a lot more about that in Emerald to Diamond training. But become an Emerald coach, because once you're Emerald, you are now eligible for Team Cycle bonus. You don't get any Team Cycle bonus until you're an Emerald. You are now halfway to your first rank goal, because you got to be Emerald before you can be Diamond, right? We don't really talk about Ruby much, and there's a reason for that, based on strategy and how you place people. But now you're also eligible for the free leads. So Success Club 6 is going to get you free leads. So somebody that buys something, you get that person's information, their email, you get all of that info so that you can reach out to them. If you hit Success Club 10, not only do you get all their info, but you get commission on what they bought. So you get free leads. Like you get 2 to 3 free leads paid if you're hitting Success Club 10, which can be like $50 to $80 every month in free commission. And then you've got these people that have bought challenge packs or that bought Shakeology, and then you're like, how are you liking the Shakeology? They're like, oh, I love it. Okay, great. Why don't you buy a challenge pack and come on as a coach? And now you're getting these coaches that are building part of your community. Or in Juliet's case, someone like, Portia, who's like, I'm ready to coach. Let's do this. So being an Emerald coach is huge, because you're establishing your business. You have the opportunity to bring on a spouse or somebody significant that's going to help earn income. You get the free leads and the paid leads, and you are to the point where you can really aim for diamond, which is awesome. Okay. The Coach mobile app. So is there anybody that has not signed someone up yet? Has everyone signed someone up? Can't see all of your faces. Okay. So can I skip over the Coach mobile app, or does anybody need that? Do this if I can skip over it. Okay. Megan says I can skip it. Deanna. Portia, have you signed someone up yet? Okay. Taylor, you know how to use the Coach mobile app. Okay.
No, but Juliet went over this with me.
Perfect.
So I'm looking at this and it does look familiar to me. So
okay, good. So yeah, and I have a video if you need it, Portia, when you're like, I'm ready to sign someone up, a video to walk you through how to use it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Challenge groups. Who has run a challenge group as a coach? Irene. Megan has not. Portia has not. Deanna, of course.
I am right now, actually, with Juliet.
You are. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm also going to skip over this part, because Deanna can teach Megan how to do challenge groups. I can teach Taylor how to do challenge groups. And you guys have all been challengers. So we're going to skip over that. Okay. So this is my second to last slide. All right. So top 9 things in the beginning of being a coach. You're going to want to write these things down. Number 9, tell your coach your goals. Tell your coach your vision. Tell your coach your why, and make them happen. Make sure you're telling your coach these things so that your coach can help you. If your coach doesn't know why you're doing this, it's almost impossible for your coach to help create a plan for you to be successful. I know that when I have brand new coaches come on and they're like, I'm ready to do this, my main thing, even if money is not a main thing for them, I want their Shakeology paid for like immediately, because that is a win. That is a small win, and that feels good. And then I'm like, okay, what else? What else? We want to keep building on that. Okay. We want it to feel like a business and that they're making some sort of income in the first 3 months. You can't do that unless you know how to motivate someone, and you can't motivate someone unless you know why they're coaching. Make your list. So if you have like a half-ass list, it's so important to make your list. So my list is now, it's not on my desk, but I do use the business activity tracker. It's just paper after paper after paper stapled where I go through my list. I use Streak too, but I'm also a pen and paper girl. And so my list comes with me everywhere. And if I see somebody like at the nursery school, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never invited her. The name goes on my list, because if I don't write her name down, I'll forget. So you want to have a list. You want to take it with you. If you have not gone through the memory jogger yet, the memory jogger is on our Poach page. You can go into the search tab and find it. It's also in your back office. As anal as it is, you guys, print it and go through it. Who do you send Christmas cards to? Who is on your graduation list? Who are your old neighbors from when you grew up? Who is in your 12th grade graduating class? Like, seriously, go get your yearbook. You want to be able to write these names down so that you've got a workable list. Don't skip team calls or national wake-up calls. So our team meets every other Wednesday night, and we do Zoom calls just like this. It's usually over some sort of topic. It's usually training. There's a lot of announcements on it, but it's like skipping class. It's like skipping school when you skip these calls. Life happens, and there's pickups to do, and there's dinner obligations and all that stuff. But the times that you can make the call, one, it gets you more and more integrated into your team. So if you're doing Zoom calls and all of a sudden you show up at Summit over the summer, you're like, oh my goodness, I know Juliet. I mean, she taught about, Instagram on the Zoom call. You've got the connection there, but you're getting constant training from coaches who are telling you, here's what works. The National Wake Up Call, if you don't have the podcast, again, boom sauce. Stick these in your ears and listen to it. I get a nugget from the National Wake Up Call every single time I listen to one. Now, I did listen to the one live on Monday. I typically don't listen to them live, and I'm 3 behind. It doesn't mean that like every week I'm listening to a National Wake Up Call, but I'm always catching up. Some weeks I'm listening to 3 of them. Some weeks I have none. But I always make sure I'm not missing any, and I always make sure I have something to write my nuggets that I'm hearing down. Because if you hear it and you're like, that's a good idea, but you don't actually take action on those things, nothing happens. If you want these nuggets to change your business, you got to write it down and figure out, oh my goodness, she had some great ideas on challenge groups. How can I incorporate that into my groups and make my challengers love what we do even more? So don't skip team calls or National Wake Up Calls. Be here in 1 year. Like the instant that you decide you're going to coach, even if you're not all in, because I would say that I started coaching in July, and I went to Summit the following July, but I did not buy my ticket till January. So I probably think it's safe to say that for the first 7 months, I don't think I was all in, because I wouldn't buy a Summit ticket. But then I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I need to either go all in or not. No more straddling the line here. And I went and I bought that Summit ticket, and I was like, I'm going to make an investment in my business. This trip is going to cost me $1,000, but I know I'm going to get that money back, and I know I need that knowledge from Summit in order to let my followers know I'm serious about this. And it was a game changer in my business. So be here in 1 year, because you might be like Tracy and you might not go all in for 7 months, and that's okay. You don't have to be rah-rah coach on day one. Everybody is on their own pace. Some come in and they are rah-rah, and they're like, I need to make 6 figures in 2 years. Okay, great. Let's do that. We will run and match your pace. If your pace is slow, we'll go slow. Taylor knows that, because she sort of dabbled in coaching and then took a step back, and then she's back. Like both of us kind of came back to each other. I'm like, Taylor, are we going to do this again? She's like, actually, I was just about to reach out to you. But Taylor will probably tell you, like, I wasn't hounding her to coach, right? Because every coach has to be at their starting point. And it's like, I'll give a little and you show me back. And when that coach starts to go away and is not showing me that they want the effort, I give them their space, because they have to be ready. I can't drag somebody to drink the water. I'll take you to the water, and if you drink, I'll give you more, right? So you don't want to drag coaches. You want coaches to be excited on their own and have that own self-motivation. Be resourceful. Definitely feel free to go into the coach page and post questions, but please make sure that you FAQ it first. Please don't ask like, what are all the flavors on Shakeology? Because that information is good for you to know how to find it before you ask the question. 4, don't skip personal development. I think I beat that to a pulp. 3, becoming an Emerald coach is a decision, right? When you are like, I'm in this, I'm going to do it. I want to be an Emerald coach. I want Team Cycle bonus. I want those free leads. I want to start building my own team. That's a decision. So when you make the decision to become Emerald, create action steps to get there. Make Success Club no matter what. So Success Club is if you're bringing 3 people on each month, 3 people, another 3 people, another 3 people, another 3 people. You guys just read the compound effect. What does that do? By the end of the year, you've brought on 36 people. Out of those 36 people that you've signed on, probably half of them are going to come on as coaches. Guess what? That's the amount of coaches that's more coaches than you need to be diamond. So it's literally bringing people on, making them successful in your challenge groups, inviting them to the coaching opportunity, but it's helping you grow your network and having the amount of people in that momentum that you need to go. And last, be yourself, right? So you want to know exactly who you're trying to attract, what you're trying to do, and you want to be totally authentically you, because then you're going to attract a team that really has the vibe of what it is that you stand for. So that is a wrap, girls. That is a wrap. I tried to get through it quickly so that we would be done in an hour, but let's take the last 3 minutes for FAQs. Does anyone have anything? Any question on spousal placement, Team Cycle bonus, social media, inviting, how do I hit Success Club? What do I do? Handling objectives.
I do have a question.
Irene? Little bit. There you are.
Yeah, so here's the question about the challenge pack. So 160 is a good deal, but then people ask how much the Shakeology will cost me next month, and then you're telling them 140, and that kills the deal. So how do I approach this situation?
Okay, so I'm having a hard time hearing you again. Like, is your microphone blocked?
So what I'm saying is, when you are selling, hold on, let me see. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. So when you're trying to give the price range for people for the challenge pack, and you're saying, okay, $100 is your annual access to Beachbody on Demand, and Shakeology is just $60. So it's good. So people are like, oh yeah, that's really cool. But then they're asking how much the Shakeology will cost me next month, and you're saying, okay, it's going to be 140 with shipment. And that's when I have problems signing up people, because then they're like, oh, we can't afford this, like paying 140 every month after this.
I don't ever say 140 as their next shipment. I always say 115. Right? Because I'll say to them, okay, you just bought a $160 challenge pack. And sometimes we'll talk about the future of Shakeology, but usually my customers are so focused on the right here and right now. But if they're like, well, what if I want to keep drinking it? And I'll say to them, the least expensive way for you to drink it is $115 a month.
So yeah, I explained the situation that they can join as coaches and save 25%. But I also like had situations recently when people are saying, we don't want to give our social security. We don't want to do it. We'd rather like pay extra, but then they're saying, oh, like, you know what, we decided we don't want to do it.
Right. So I don't usually use the word coach when I'm talking to them initially. So just think of it from a customer perspective. They've never tried Shakeology. They've never done a workout program. And you're throwing the word like coach, discount, 25%, social security number. And they're like, I just want to drink a shake, right? That's all they want to do. So I'll just say to them like, okay, it's $115. Why don't we just get you in the challenge group? We'll get you feeling good. You're not going to be charged anything until you and I have another conversation. Plus, you're going to get an email from Beachbody. But there's other options we can talk about based on your progress in my group. And a lot of times we're like, okay, like I just alleviated their fear that they're going to be on some sort of auto ship without like anybody knowing that their card is going to keep getting charged. So then in 2 weeks time, before Beachbody sends them an email, and a lot of times you get these people, if they buy packets, they're like, they start to get nervous that their packets are going away because they only have 24. And a lot of times they're like, I want to catch them in that 10-day window. Not the first week because I want them to feel really good. So I go about 10 days and then I'm like, okay, let's talk about your Shakeology. From what I understand in your challenge group, and in the challenge group, you're feeling amazing. So let's talk about options. And then what I'll do is then I'll talk about the coach option. But I'm also not telling them that they need to give the social security. But if they come back to me and they're like, why do they want the social security? I'm like, well, Beachbody doesn't have a way to determine which coaches are sharing coaches and share the business and which don't. And if someone were to ask you, like, if you want, if they want to buy Shakeology from you and you decide that you would like to coach, then we're able to give you a paycheck. We can't pay you without a social. So it's like a tax ID number. And if they don't want to give it, they pay retail. But most people, when they understand, they'll give it.
Yeah, that's just like I personally try to give as much information as possible because I'm afraid that later they will come and blame me, or you hide this information, you keep this information from us. So while like we're paying more here and there and say about the social security and all those details. So that's why I'm kind of giving them probably more information in advance than they need to know.
Yes. And you might be coming off assuming that they're going to have an issue with it. And when they get that vibe from you, do you know what I like I used to get jammed up about that too. And like, it's recording, so I probably shouldn't say this, but I would be like, just fill out all zeros. Well, that backfired because compliance caught me and I had to go back and do paperwork on every single person. And I had a lot of coaches that got terminated. It was a mess. So it just taught me a lesson that you just always want to stay compliant. And I just was like, why am I not explaining this to people? It's probably because they're like, why am I giving my social? They don't realize that they could get paid as a coach. When you say to them, like, coaches get paid, this is my career, and Beachbody has no way to determine if you're going to share the business or not. They have to have some sort of a tax ID in order to pay you. Okay?
The problem also that many people that I signed up recently, they have full-time jobs and they're not interested in doing that.
All right.
Sometimes people change their mind about this, but that's not the group of the people.
Okay. We'll keep talking about that tomorrow.
Okay.
Anyone else? Taylor.
So no more DVDs. We're only doing on demand.
Unless you've got somebody that's like, I definitely want a DVD. But think about this. They can buy a DVD plus Shakeology for $160 for the same price of getting every single workout.
And then they'll just pay, what is it, a yearly thing or quarterly now?
It's yearly. So they'll get charged $100 a year later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So yes, they can still buy DVDs, but I would just feel so bad if someone spent the same amount of money when they could get all access. Now there's some people that are like, I just can't stream, and the room I work out in only has a DVD player. And I'm like, okay, I just want to let you know, you're going to pay $60 for every new program.
Right.
You can't figure, like, how about your iPhone?
Like my mom was like, I don't know what streaming is. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, you can put it in your DVD player, or I can just show you how to do it, and it will take 2 seconds. So yeah.
One idea that has really worked for me, you guys, is in Emerald to Diamond training, you have to create your own Zoom account. So these Zoom accounts are free. I pay extra for mine because free accounts, you're not allowed to talk more than like 40 minutes, and our calls are always an hour. But if you create a Zoom account so that you can Zoom, you can actually record yourself screen sharing, and you're like, hey, I'm Tracy. How are you guys? Today I'm going to show you how to use Beachbody on demand. And you screen share, and you basically do like a 4-minute, 5-minute video on how to use BOD. You're like, here's how you go in. Here's how you find your programs. When you click on your programs, this is where your meal plans are. And I YouTube it. And then I send that to every brand new challenger. So I'm like, okay, great. You just bought your challenge pack with your on-demand and your Shakeology. Once I see your order go through, I'm going to send you a video that I want you to watch. take a look at the video. It shows you how to use your new Beachbody On Demand, and then you and I will have a phone call after you explore it a little bit. So I do that because that way they can actually get logged in. They can check it out. I show where the Fixate show is. You know what I'll do? I'll put the link of my video in case you want to peek at it. It's a great video to make because, again, as you bring on more challengers, you don't want to keep like duplicating the same thing over again. So I have one video that I've already made. I send it to them. They have it. So everyone knows at least how to use Beachbody On Demand. And then a week before my challenge groups, I'm having phone calls to be like, which program are we going to do for you based on your goals? 21-day fix, T25, max 30, PIO, 22-minute hardcore. But at least they know how to use what they just bought. That's like, okay, I just spent $160 and my Shakeology doesn't come for 5 days and I'm intimidated about streaming. Send them a video so that you're not having to like walk them through it on the phone. You will get so tired of that after like your 10th challenger, you'll be like, just make a video. So in the comments of the Getting Started Right training, I'll put my video so that you guys can check it out. And if you have any questions on how to use Zoom, there's a little learning curve there, but it's pretty easy. Okay.
Awesome.
All right, good. We good? All right, I got to take my Instagram story picture, okay? Everyone smile. Yay, I love it. Good. Okay, you guys are awesome. I'm so, so proud of you for making it through the training. It's a lot, I know. Emerald to Diamond training is, Irene just went through it. What do you think's like more time consuming, Irene? Getting Started Right or Emerald to Diamond?
I think the first one was more challenging because I didn't know what to expect.
Getting started was more challenging, right?
And it was overwhelming with all the information.
Yeah.
The second one was easier because you're already in the business, you know what's happening.
Right.
So it was easier in a way.
Good. Yes. You should feel overwhelmed because this is a brand new job and you don't know where the coffee maker is or the bathroom and you don't know how to print anything because you don't know how the printer works. It should feel overwhelming, right? But I think it was about 4 months in where I was like, I woke up one day and I'm like, I think I know what I'm doing, sort of. Took 4 months. And again, it's not rocket science, but there's so much to remember in the beginning and so many things that your customers ask you and you don't know the answers, and that doesn't feel good all the time when you don't know the answers. But just know you've got this whole tribe of people behind you like cheering you on and happy to help you, and that your challengers love the vulnerability of the fact that you don't really know what you're doing. You're like, I'm just going along for the journey. Do you want to come with me? I will help you and we'll figure it out together. So you should feel overwhelmed. You really should. But you guys wrote down the things that you want to do in the next 30 days. Like, make those things happen. Make them happen. And I promise you guys are going to be set up for success for the second half of the year. Okay?
All right.
You're awesome. All of
Thank
you.
you.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for your time tonight.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.